The Serenade Tour, October London, Jasmine Sullivan, and Maxwell. This is Kendéll Lenice for reviews and news. I couldn't wait any longer. I had to come to you right now. All right, so all three were in Baltimore, and it was some singing going on in Baltimore. You hear what I'm telling you? They were at the CNG Arena, packed. When I'm telling you packed, packed from the floor to the ceiling. We were pretty much at the ceiling because when it first went on sale, we were like, oh, we're going to get the tickets. And then ended up getting them later than we weren't. That's a whole nother story. But that's all right because the sound is loud everywhere you are. So we were almost in the same spot where we saw Janet Jackson, very, very, very close, some seats away. And we could see that. My kids last year got me Janet Jackson tickets for Mother's Day. But it was similar. So we were like, okay, that's fine as long as we in his house, right? So we were in there and the music was loud, loud. So of course, this was Maxwell's tour. He October London opened up for all of them. He did his thing, Mulholland Drive, all of his hits. He had half the stage and he had it set up like a juke joint or a lounge kind of vibe, and it was nice, like a speakeasy. He had it like that. And then waited for a bit, and Miss Jazmine Sullivan came out, and she sang all the songs except Masterpiece. I love that song. I use it all the time. I love the words, but she sang everything else. If you know the Jazmine Sullivan song, yeah, she sang it. Except that one, right? Pick up your film, everything. I Need You Bad, her first song, all everything you love from Jazmine Sullivan. She came out, bust the windows out your car. We was watching people going in. You already know that's an anthem for a lot of people. They love that song, but all the songs she sang them. And she looked good. She looked nice. She had this burgundy three-piece ensemble, on, and her hair was in individual braids, which makes total sense. When you're on tour, you ain't got to worry about your hair. It's braided down, and it looked good. It was long, it was small, and it's gonna last her through the whole tour. Hey, if Serena's braids could last her on Love Island, so can Jazmine Sullivan's for a tour. And then, so I mean, her voice, y'all already know how rich it is and just loud in the arena. I mean, they had the volume on 100, right? And then, of course, wait a little bit of time. And then Maxwell comes out. And we looking for Maxwell, like in Baltimore, like where is Maxwell? Because we hear him singing and we're looking on the stage and he's not there. The man got a stage in the middle of the floor seats where the people up top like us could see and everybody from the back could see. So you could tell Maxwell already is very aware and very fan and people oriented. You can tell he's not a selfish person, a performer, boss. You can tell that he's for the people, right? Even just some of the stuff that he was saying and speaking positively and affirmations throughout, you could tell. So he had the stage back there. We looking for him. The stage, like, it's like right here. It's like it's a round stage and it's sitting right there and we up top. All we had to do was look like this and we would have saw the stage. But everybody, that shows you how people are trained to look at the stage because we were watching the show at the stage. But he was right there. We could see him right there. And I say he's making sure everybody sees because it's an arena, it's large. He's making sure everybody sees, right? So then he, goes to the stage and he sings all his jams. He didn't sing A Woman's Worth, though. A Woman's Worth. And I was surprised at that. But he sang everything else and from all the albums. He'd been out 28, 29 years. All the albums, he sang the songs. The album cuts, the that people don't know about, but unless you know Maxwell, and then of course the hits and the singles, he sang those. And he even did it like acoustic, and he almost did like an uncut version where he pulled his stage and they had it almost like, he said, this is the tiny desk section. Sidebar, did y'all see Maxwell's tiny desk? It was everything. If you haven't seen it, see it. And how they had on white and earth tone colors on that, that's what they all had in the concert. So all the people you saw on Tiny Desk, they were there. And then the woman that looks like Sanaa Lathan, his background singer, beautiful, she was there. And I love how you can tell Maxwell respects women because he gave her own, she had her hat white, and she came out kind of like by herself and kind of posed and did this thing. But one thing I like about Maxwell, and I kept saying, and I was telling my daughters this too, because we went together. And I'm so glad I did. That's another story on why, but I'm so glad I ended up going. And love Maxwell. Last time I seen Maxwell, it's been years, and I used to wear to death this shirt. I used to wear this Maxwell shirt all the time, and I had it for years. And then when it got kind of dingy, then I would wear it to bed. Had it for years. My kids were younger. My youngest, I was like, "Remember that Maxwell shirt you had?" So of course I had to update it. That was like I tell you what, 9/11. I was supposed to get see Maxwell when everything happened in DC, and that's when we didn't know how bad 9/11 was, right? And I was like, oh, maybe they'll just, still have it. And then of course we know what it ended up being. So that they postponed that for like maybe a year later or within a year later. So, but he was always one of the I've seen thousands of concerts, and he was still one of the best concerts that I've seen, and still a great performer. But I just want to talk about how gracious he is. You can tell that he's an amazing boss. He's very inclusive. We were talking about that. Like, I would ask my daughters, I was like, did you catch that? Where, you know how when people have their solos, right? The singing solos for the background or the band's solos, every time someone had a solo, he would bring them to the front and Maxwell will go to the back. Like, you could tell he's very humble. He don't have that Hollywood, that type of see me, pick me. You already know we here for him, right? He didn't have nothing to prove, and he gives his people their shine, which I thought was phenomenal. And he spotlights them and puts them on front and center. And when he did that, he went to the back. You know how some artists be like standing there while they doing it's still my show. Not him. And he was so gracious, and you can tell he's so kind, thoughtful, and considerate. You can see that. You could see that he cares about the world. He talked about God. You can see that he cared about his employees. He's the boss. But I guarantee you, if these background singers and musicians go somewhere else, they're gonna be like, we want to go back home to Maxwell because he do us right. So even at the end, I haven't seen anybody. I go to a lot of concerts. I haven't seen anybody do this probably ever. If I've seen him do it, after the show, he brings the band down front center stage. He brings the singers down and him. They line up. You know how like when you go to a play, everybody lines up and gets their flowers. That's normal for a play. But I've never seen someone in concert that we know and love do that. And that's what he did, and they all were there. Think about a play, introduced themselves and said where they were from and all of that, and they all bowed together. I just love Maxwell's spirit. We already know he's cute. He been cute. He ain't never not been cute when he came out, right? Instead of his big afro, now he has his cornrows to the back, got a little scrunchie right there, and some beads hanging on the end. Same way if you saw Tiny Desk, you would see that. But if you haven't seen that, I suggest you watch that Tiny Desk. I smiled the whole time I watched that and sang. But I love the earth tone, so that's probably his thing. And then, like I said, he had affirmations come on the screen, like with a video, and then he talked about it. But Jasmine Sullivan, excellent. October London, he always reminds me of between Marvin Gaye and Raheem Devon. He has that soulful voice. So I'm sure that that's a peaceful tour. Ain't no problems. You ain't gonna see no drama. And Jasmine Sullivan said the first tour she ever did when she first came out was with Maxwell. So I know that that's a non-problematic tour with a whole lot of singing. So if it's coming to a city near you, which I know it is, definitely go see the Serenade Tour and let me know what you thought about the tour. And if you've seen it, let me know what your stop was like and what you thought and what were some of your favorite moments from that tour. This is Kendéll Lenice for reviews and news. See you later. God bless y'all. Peace.
Puerto Rican love. Before you know I got you just because. Whenever, wherever, whatever, baby. Whenever, wherever, whatever. Honey, sugar, chocolate, gold. Sister, we're something. Let me hear you out there. Flavor with a cold.